Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cafe Cultivar. My name is Victor, and I'm your keeper for tonight for the very first AP on this channel. Woo!
Woo!
Welcome to Entre Luna y Sol. And we are going to go ahead and introduce our players tonight. From left to right, we have Maria.
Hello, it's me. I'm Maria, also known as Happy Capster. I use they, she pronouns. Tonight, though, I'm going to be playing Macario Mac Eloisa, who uses they, them pronouns, and is using the mundane playbook.
All right, Revan.
Hi, I'm Revan, and my pronouns are he, they. Tonight I'm going to be playing V, or Vicente. His pronouns are he, they, and he has the Spell Slinger playbook.
Thank you. Diana.
Hola, as I go by Diana Moon Online, I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Remigo Remi Angel Chicote, he, they, and they are the Monstrous playbook.
And last but not least, Rena.
Hello everyone, I'm Rena at Liquid Rena. I use any pronouns, and tonight I will be playing Huli, who uses he, she, they pronouns, and they are the spooky for this stream.
All right, folks. So, let's bring us in.
Wait, Victor, who are you? Wait, hang on, Victor, who are you? Wait, though. Wait.
Who are you?
Who are you? What are
Did
you
I
playing?
not do it?
No.
No.
I thought I said that I was the keeper. At the
Well.
beginning. Hi, I'm your keeper. I'm playing everyone else. And apparently, I forget to introduce myself. Victor, they them. All right, loves. Puerto Sol is a beachside city in South California. It has a large population and is notable for having 60% of their people being identifying as Latine. And this city has music, food, and so many interesting things within it. And most lovingly, it has magic. You can feel it, the way that flows through its people. It's nurtured by the community, and it nurtures the community in turn. And so, talking about nurturing, I'd like to sort of zoom in on one of our players today. Rena, can you please describe your character for us?
I would love to. So Huli is a maybe mid-30s, older person with long dark curls that they normally keep pulled back with like a headband or a lot of barrettes or things, because Huli is constantly cooking and you cannot get hair in the food. But even if you put them in an industrial kitchen, they would not wear a hairnet. He is probably, statistically speaking, actually in said kitchen, filming videos for the TikTok to post and like show people who maybe did not have a cultural connection, how to make these like fun Mexican and Salvadorian and Cuban dishes and things like that. So you'll probably find them covered in ingredients and stirring rapidly as they gossip about literally nothing, and she's having a wonderful time.
Is this like a typical morning for Huli?
Yes. Huli will get up and make a whole bunch of food and film making the food, so that way they can post throughout the week. They have been told that they should post every day, and and from there, once the food is cooked and sort of packaged away in Tupperwares, go and distribute as needed to the various little children, los chavos, that are like all around the street up and down, whoever needs just a meal, or if anybody comes to the door and is like looking for something to eat.
Gotcha. How long has Huli been in Puerto Sol?
Gosh, forever. Huli was born here, so
Gotcha.
this is home 100%.
All right. And I have another question for you. what has she taken over in the block party that's coming up?
Oh, of course, the food. Julia is. She acknowledges now that he cannot cook an entire block party's worth of food by themselves. Now, uh,
So proud of Huli right now.
but that doesn't mean that they're not going to try and wrangle everybody else and kind of make sure that not everybody is cooking the same dish 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But what if I want lechon 10 different ways?
you're gonna have to ask if anybody wants to make it 8 more times.
Sounds good. All right. So while Huli is prepping all this food, how does she keep in contact with people?
She uses her kind of old phone, but you wouldn't be able to tell that it's old because he keeps it in very good condition.
Gotcha.
It's in like an OtterBox case.
Yeah.
And he loves FaceTime or the equivalent because he doesn't have to hold the phone up. So a lot of the times, if you like are having a conversation with Huli, it will be, you don't even have to be on FaceTime. You can be like on the phone, but if you look at your phone, there's just like sort of a like you're propped up against the cabinet or a mixing bowl or something like that while they like talk and walk around. They can't wear headphones.
I love that. I think what Huli hears is her, her phone going off, and on the little screen you see Oscar Valiente.
Oh, I gotta get that. Just a very quick tapping the screen and hola, ¿qué pasó?
Hola, Huli.
Dime.
And he's actually on FaceTime with you because he actually doesn't know how to turn it off. Oscar is a very haggard-looking man. He looks like he is constantly eating something sour, like pinched face, very gruff-looking. And you would know him as the lead at the community center, and sort of like the lead of the block party. And he's just like, Huli, Nana wants me speak English. I need you to come here.
Okay.
Hay un problema que necesito tu ayuda. I need your help.
Okay. ¿Ahorita?
Como? Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And he looks exhausted, but he honestly constantly looks exhausted. And Oscar is like, okay, I need to call the others. I'll call the others.
Okay.
But we need.
Okay.
Necesito todo. Okay. Ciao. And you see, he hits something and he doesn't hang up. He thinks he hangs up, and then he's like, Nena, por favor, puedes llamar a nosotros. No, English.
Hang up. They want to watch this.
Yeah. And he's like, no, English. Holy. And then he taps, and he doesn't hang up, and he looks, and he taps one more, and he finally goes away.
Huli will finish stirring, wrap the bowl in plastic wrap, stick it in the fridge, and take off their apron and head out the door to the community center because this sounds very serious.
Perfect, thank you. And then let's switch on over to our lovely Macario, Mac. What is a tip? Please tell us about your character.
So, Mac is freshly 20, and is loving being 20. The concept of changing into a new number set, they're living. They are a pretty slight built person at about 5'7", 5'8" or so. They have very, not quite curly hair, but the waves are very there. Most of it is this dark black thick mass, but the bottom third of it is just bleached almost white. And they constantly have the top part of their hair pulled up into a little bun. So it's black and then it's white. They can always be seen either wearing flannel or having it tied around them. They are frequently seen meandering the beach side, the boardwalks. It's almost always have some kind of smile on their face or some kind of, I don't know, looking like they're listening to some music in their head. They seem to just be a very chill person most of the time.
Got it. What's a typical morning look like for Mac?
So in the morning, Mac is the kind of person who wants to greet whichever sun or moon whenever it wakes up. So even though it's really early in the morning, Mac would never tell you that they're a morning person, but every single morning they're always on the beach to watch the sunrise come up. And will usually by about 10 a.m. be napping. But this morning, they I don't remember if we had decided, are they staying with Uli right now? I don't remember if we decided that.
I believe
or
that's
not.
what we had spoken about.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what we talked about.
Got it. So they had probably been, while Uli was cooking, they'd probably actually been like napping on the kitchen table. But most mornings they would go out and they would see the sunrise, and then they would just walk around the boardwalk, say hi to people. They don't really seem to do a whole lot right now. They just seem to exist. But today they are being sleepy on the kitchen table.
When Oscar said that he had to call the others, do I include Mac in that? Like, am I aware that Mac might be included in that?
Well, yes, because I was going to ask a question. Mac, what is intimidating to you about helping in the block party?
Not feeling like I have anything to contribute. Other than my own self. That's the most, being asked to bring something that I do not have.
Gotcha. Because I think because you're staying with Juli, Nena Valiente, you would know her as Oscar's wife, would have been like, Mac, you gotta, it's part, you'll find your place in here, I promise. Just do something for the block party, you'll find your place. No pressure. Right?
Okay. All right. Yeah, find my place. Sure.
And along with that, before we get into, the two of you in this scene, how long has Mac been in Puerto Sol?
I think Mac has been in Puerto Sol for probably 10 to 12 years. They're not entirely, they kind of didn't really keep track, but they moved in with a parent, and then had situations happen and had decided to leave, and never went back. So probably about 10, 12 years ago.
All right, thank you. So, Holy, Mac is sleeping at your kitchen table. Somehow slept through this very loud call from
Of
upstairs.
a very loud call. How does Mac take? Does Mac drink coffee?
I think so. I think Mac drinks about anything that you put in front of them.
Okay, so Huli will just like pour a cup of hot coffee and like put it right up against their forehead where they're sleeping, so that like it's warm and the warmth starts to wake them up.
Mm-hmm.
And like pan dulce on top, and then just starts like patting them on the head, like, hey, arriba, vamos.
What?
You have to go.
What? And sees the coffee, the cup and everything, and pulls it. Like they're still kind of on the table, but pulls the coffee up towards them, and just like starts eating the bread just on top without just like chewing on it, and says, "Oh, where are we going?"
Al centro, there's an emergency of some kind. At least that's what Oscar made it seem like.
He can't take care of it. It's important.
He would not
something.
have called if he could.
Okay. And they'll sit up and stretch and rub their eyes, and will grab the bread in one hand and the coffee cup by like the top of it, and will just kind of blearily follow you wherever they're going.
We'll pour the coffee cup into a travel mug, of which Huli has many. And then just bringing them along.
I love it. Thank you, guys.
Mac is here in quotation marks.
Devon, mi amor,
Hello.
why don't you introduce V to us?
V is a very interesting character. V is a mid-20s individual with he, they pronouns, but most importantly, if you ever thought of a modern-day vaquero, a cowboy, that is the image of V, but mix in goth and punk, just a little mix of it. So V is a short king, constantly wearing like the western dress shirts with the beautiful embroidery of skulls and gold and red colors, and on a regular basis has them opened up just a little too much, maybe revealing a little bit too much skin. Listen, he's got to show off his top surgery scars. He's very proud of them. And if it's a casual day, he'll be in jeans. If not, he's going to have like some very nice black slacks that he's going around in, and you will never ever see him walking around. It's either barefoot or he's wearing beautiful cowboy boots, and he spent way too much cash on these beautiful cowboy boots with little gold skulls like embroidered on like tied on the front, so you know he's coming. V is also an individual who loves to go very colorful with his hair. So as of late, he's rocking a sort of like long mullet with his very curly hair. And I mean incredibly curly hair, where it's bright green on the sides with what little has been left for the mullet, and the rest like fading into this beautiful umber of a dark forest green that he tends to his hair and his skin very, very efficiently.
Gotcha. What's he doing this morning?
This morning is a very important morning because it's the block party. He's got a lot to do. He did volunteer to do a lot of things. God knows he can't be left alone in the early morning just laying in bed with his thoughts. That's too much. That's way too much. So what he ends up doing is he does his usual, like, his routine for his face. He's got a whole like facial care routine in the morning that he does his hair, and he makes sure that he's looking at least decent for the day before he throws on his clothing. Today specifically, he is taking his very, very old beat up truck that should probably be put, to bed to rest, but it was working, so he's gonna keep it. And he's taking that. He's going and grabbing any of the food that other people can't like take themselves to the block party center. He's volunteering to pass out any flyers that weren't passed out to remind everybody, hey, there's a block party. So he's got like one stack for food, he's got one stack for flyers. He's helping out where he can, because some people who love to make food don't have access to like cars, so they'll walk. He'll bring everything, they don't have to worry about it.
Sounds good. Thank you. And how long has Rowan been in Puerto Sol?
So V has been in Puerto Sol for a couple years, not for a very long time. About 3 or 4 years would be like the maximum he's been. So he still feels very new. Getting to Puerto Sol has been a whole ordeal. He came on his own in that same very beat up truck that is aging, that rusted, that squeals a little bit as he drives it. But it got him from his family's house to Puerto Sol in one piece. So he's giving it all it's got.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're taking on a lot for the block party. What did you not ask for that has been given to you anyway when it comes to this block party?
He was given, I feel like he ended up being given a bunch of his worst enemy, his nightmare, curtido. Now, the bonus is that there's pupusas. So he gets to smell the pupusas in their container, but right beside him in the passenger seat isn't like a giant just Tupperware of curtido that's starting to leak a little bit on the seats, and he can smell it, and he's very upset.
Gotcha. Perfect dear. So I think while you're on your way to the centro, your phone begins to ring.
And he starts looking for it. He's wearing his wonderful outfit today, but the problem is he has like 5 different pockets. So he starts patting himself down with one hand and like starts looking finally pulls it out to see what's going on. Who's calling him?
And you have a FaceTime call from Oscar.
Fucking hate FaceTime. All right. So he turns it on and answers, "Hola."
And you see, you just see the ceiling.
Oscar, no te puedo ver. No te puedo ver.
And he's like, "Oh, it connected. Nena, se conectó. Mira,
Oscar, no te puedo
maybe
ver.
number wrong. Okay, sorry. Wrong. V.
Sí.
Te necesito aquí. I need you here.
¿Qué pasa?
Es un poco sensitivo. I know, English.
Oh, okay.
It's a
English.
little sensitivo.
It's sensitive.
Sensitive. That's what I said.
Okay. I'm on my way already. Don't worry about it. I got food and everything.
Perfect. We can put that in the fridge, but just yes. Okay.
Okay, I'm going.
Gracias. And then clicks, and it's still on.
Oscar. Oscar.
Wait, why you? And then
there we go.
And that's what we'll leave you for right now.
Alrighty.
Diana, tell us about Remy.
What do you want to know? Like, there's many things about Remy that people want to know about, Doesn't mean you get to know. But Remy is surprisingly tall for being Central American. Has like a very nice tanned brown skin. Has their hair shaved in the sides and then like a big floofiness in front. But they don't put it in a faux hawk or anything. They just keep it to the side a bit. they are always carrying what would be probably the equivalent of Cloud's Buster Sword, um, on them. Doesn't matter where, they're always having it on them. But it is actually, and I'm going to probably mispronounce this, a makohito. They're the Mayan, basically the Mayan swords with like obsidian on the sides, and it's very cool. Um, yeah, the sword. And they tend to wear black and leather and just be very much like the mysterious guy that you'd see walking down the streets, and you don't know if you want them to notice you or not, you know.
Gotcha.
They also have usually creeping from their whatever clothes they're wearing, some vine tattoos. And then it's only in UV, so only at clubs you can see, but they have on their like a tattooed off across their entire hand a jaguar skull, so they can do this like almost like a mask, and everything. But not many people know that. Only certain people might have noticed that in certain situations.
Gotcha. Good to know. And what sort of situation is Remy in this morning?
I think it's one of those things of like a whole series of like I was supposed to get from point A to point B, and that should have been an easy thing. But like a lot of like little mishaps, kind of like if anyone saw Spider-Man Across the Universe, or Spider-Verse, when Miles was trying to get that cake to the rooftop, it was like, oh, there's a kitten like stuck in a tree, like little like neighborhood things that they were just like, fine. You know, kind of thing. As they were just supposed to show up. That's what they were expected. Like, show up to the party, make sure everything's copacetic with, you know, any of the like annoyances of the neighborhoods.
So my question to you is, well, I have a couple questions actually. How long has Remy been here in Puerto Sol?
I think about 6 months ish. So it might have been they've only made themselves more public for 5 months. Like 6 months they were skulking around and everything, checking out Puerto Sol, whether this is going to be a place that they're just passing through. And then shit happened and they met certain people, and so they're no longer passing through yet.
Gotcha. Good to know. And despite this serious exterior, what is Remy so excited for at the block party?
Eating everything Julie made. Just 100%. Just like they've designated themselves as being the unofficial taste tester of everything, quality control. No one knows this, but this is what's going to happen.
Perfect. I love to hear it. So something strange happens while you're walking. You know, you've had all these things that you've been like stopped by, and then suddenly, like a bird just sort of like floats down and like falls, like sort of like lands on the ground and is like moving around strangely. What do you do?
Part of me wish I had a stick to poke at it like gently, and then part of my more inner beast, we can say, it was like, oh, a bird, you know. And it's like, no, can't do that. That's not good. So I think just like the whole like very like crouched down and contemplating it.
Yeah, and I think it tries to take off a couple times before and sorry, content warnings for this game include body horror, um strange happenings, monstrosities, people being treated like monsters, um and violence, gore, and so please engage with as you can. It's always good to open tables for everybody. And so this bird, when you contemplate it, tries to take off a couple times, and then its head moves in a very uncomfortable fashion. You see it move. It doesn't seem like it would hurt the bird, but definitely looks like it's not supposed to look at you like that. And it chirps a couple times before a voice comes from its beak. And it's like, Remigo, ¿por dónde andes? Where are you going these days?
Hola, Jefe. You know how it is. I can't stay in one place. Anywhere. All the kind of troubles I like to get into.
Oh, but you see, I looked for you in other places first, but here you still were. And the bird is like sort of uncomfortable, like again, like almost like something is like moving around inside the bird. It moves and looks up at you. And you can sense malice, amusement, something coming off of that.
Oh, well, and I think they take like a slight, while still crouched, like a slight step backwards. And I haven't made enough trouble here. I figured it'd be fun to do some trouble here, and they haven't caught on. It's one of those slow communities, you know? Those lazy towns that just believe everything.
Oh, is that what's going on? Well, Remigo, let me help you make trouble.
Of course, Jefe. Cualquieras.
Well then, I think there's going to be a party within the next 2 days.
Yeah, that's all they can talk about. It's so annoying. Would you like me to, well, what would you? I wouldn't presume to think for you, of course, Hefe.
Good, because you're not good at it. There's magic where you are staying, and I want it. I can sense the swell, the way things connect, and then suddenly you're hearing his voice everywhere. Without you realizing it, birds have gathered all around you, squawking uncomfortably before they speak. I want the magic. You will get further instructions soon.
Of course.
And then,
Yes.
perfect. And then everything seems to mute for a second, like a presence is directly there with you. And I would like for you just to roll me a straight cool roll.
Ooh. Yes. Let's see.
Our first roll of the game.
I don't think I'm going to. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure I can't make it. Because I rolled a 3
You have a
and
minus
one.
one in cool.
Yeah, so it's a 2.
Woo! Oh, darling.
I've gotten too
So
soft.
mark experience.
Yeah.
And then you feel like you feel, and of course, ask if this is okay, you feel hands on your shoulders. And they're so cold, it feels like it's going to burn you. And that voice that was coming from all around you is centered in a whisper in your ear. It says, remember who you belong to. and you feel this intense, like, crushing in your chest. And on your next roll, you're gonna have a -1 forward because you are shaken by this, like, distressing message from your jefe. Man, bosses, aren't they the worst?
We should just kill all the bosses.
So, in this moment, while you're trying to recover, how is Remy feeling right now? How's
Very much like fuck. I've grown complacent. I've grown soft. I've been distracted by V. This is not good. This is not good. I can't tell them. What am I gonna do? I just okay. That is 2 days Remy's problem. Right now is just compose and get where I was supposed to going, and going to be paranoid about the birds. Great.
yeah. Yeah, the bird that was in front of you, it just sort of like has sat down, like someone has sapped all the energy out of this bird. It just sort of like pathetically like squawks at you. Like, this is your fault somehow. And
I know, Pajarito, I know.
and then that's when your phone starts going off.
¿Qué tal?
And you hear a feminine voice. Ay, Remy, gracias a Dios. I can't let Oscar do calls now. And you hear that it's Nena Valiente, the wife of the community center, and also like accountant.
I didn't know he knows how to press the button, let alone call.
Now, Remy, don't be mean, because I will be mean to you.
What if I want that though?
Ay, mi amor. No estoy interesado en los jóvenes. I'm not interested in the young. Okay. There's a problem. And we're calling everybody, but me siento mejor. I feel better if you come too.
Alright, yeah. Where am I
Gracias.
going?
Viene al centro. Come to the center, please. And hopefully as fast as possible.
I'll be there as soon as I can.
Gracias, mi amor.
You know,
And
one day I'll be old enough.
oh. Nos vemos. We'll see. And Nena has never really like fallen for any Remy charms.
That's what makes it best.
Yeah, and she laughs and then just por favor, if you can, and hangs up.
And I think for Remy to feel a little bit more control, they're going to get there the fastest way they know how to, and that's to transform.
Ooh. Why don't you tell us about your transformation, dear?
It's a little painful every time, but they would never admit they might be a little bit of a masochist, but you know. So they don't mind. Listen, Victor, you know who you brought into this.
I do.
But it's like a feeling of like your body being too small, and it's just like this like growth that happens. This is not, you know, like body horror style growth. It's just that sensation of like, oh, I gotta get out. And they kind of just almost like poof into what would be, you would think, or technically a jaguar, but instead of being like that golden yellow with like black spots, it's black with golden yellow spots. And they're a little bit smaller size than like a typical size jaguar would be, so that they can be a little bit more nimble. And they kind of like shake off, like there's nothing there to like shake off, but it's just that sensation of like yeah, like gotta get that human skin off kind of feeling. And contemplate the bird again. Now it's like, well, it'd be justified if I ate it, but then it's like, nah, it's not the bird's fault, and then just leaps ahead.
Perfect. Okay, folks. So, with all our different parties connected, contemplate your bird. It's very good. With all your different, everybody is sort of closing in on the center. And despite Oscar's urgency, you'll end up waiting outside his office. The center is large. It looks like someone took a strip mall, like just sort of like shoveled everything out and put in this like grand place. There is a basketball and tennis court on the side of it, that is well maintained. There on the like on in this like side portion of the building right before it hits the courts, there is a large machine that looks almost like a furnace, but you would all know if you're familiar with the center, it's actually a kiln. They do like different like art classes and projects here at the center, and from the back of the building to the front you can hear like the faint sound of like drums and guitar, and it is like noisecore. So there's a lot of things going on at the center, especially in the light of like the block party. There's flyers all over the place in beautiful different colors, with multiple events happening, and people are coming in and out of the center. That's what you arrive at, and like there are several people in front of Oscar's door, even though he called you, and the door's closed.
Julie's just gonna is it locked?
No, when you check it, it's not locked.
I'm just gonna open the door. Julie's just gonna open the door. They work here sometimes, kind of, maybe.
I think there's a couple of like younger women who look shocked when Juli does that, and then you go back to the chisme, because if you guys are going in first, they can just wait. And you see Oscar, and he is standing at his desk, and his computer is like it's one of those like flat screen all-in-ones, and it is like on its back on the desk, and he's looking at it, and he's just like, el diablo hizo estas máquinas, el diablo hizo estas máquinas. And he looks, Oscar in person is so tall. This man is around 6'4" and thin as a weed. He looks flustered. His face, that's usually light skinned, is bright red, and he looks angry and annoyed, and his phone is like halfway across the room, and and in the back you can see like there's another office door which connects to like Nena's office, and you hear just like faint giggling, and he looks up, and he's just like, he straightens his tie. Thank you for coming so fast.
Did you break it?
Mac pops their head off to the side around Juli and says, "Do you need help fixing it?"
Yes.
Max
But
goes
first,
in. Mac just goes in. Goes in before invited. Head straight to the computer.
Yeah. He's like, the screen black. I know my way.
I think Mac's gonna just start like looking around, like behind the screen, like under the desk, and while doing that is just asking, not even talking to Oscar. What was the last thing that you did with what did you do last with it?
I no. I type. There was bug. I killed bug, and then screen turn off. Screen turn black.
Oh, Oscar.
Mac,
Mm-hmm.
if you look on the bottom of this screen,
Mm-hmm.
you will see that if the display was on, there would be a light. But currently, the light is not on.
Okay, so Mac is gonna do like a little show of like, oh, I see, and is just gonna very as subtly as I can just push the power button for the screen.
And you see the screen just lights up, and you see there's like there's a bunch of like there's so many windows open. Mac.
Yeah, Mac stands up and just like, oh, do
Mira, ahí
you-
está.
Ay, mijo, you're see, this is Diablo. Tú eres un ángel, and like Oscar, like, and if it's okay, Oscar like touches your face and then gives you like a mwah, mwah.
and it's just kind of Mac just turns towards Huli and is like, help.
Mi ángel, ¿te acuerdas? I'm just gonna like pull Mac close and like pat. Mac is actually taller than Huli, so it's more like a reach up and a pat. But
It's like the back of the neck pat.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Cierra la puerta. Close the. What are you doing? Come in. Close the door.
Eso es no lo problema. ¿Qué pasó?
Listen, no. It's more issue. It's more issue.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. And when the door closes, he takes a look at all of you, and he sits down. And Oscar always looks tired, but there is a deep concern in his face. And he's just like, I have not heard from Cassandra for 3 days. Cassandra is an old resident of Puerto Sol. She left, probably like 5-6 years back. But she had grown up in the city, and recently she came back, maybe in the last, honestly, around the time that Remy came back. So around 6 months. And when her mother passed away. And Mac wouldn't know this. Huli, Cassandra left years back because of trouble that she had gotten into. No one would tell you exactly what type of trouble that she had gotten into, but everyone would speculate. So Cassandra, she's a complicated person, is something that you would know for how long you've been here. And so, Oscar looks incredibly worried, and he's just like, there are problems for me to go to her house. I go look for her other place, but I need you to go look Cassandra house for me.
Okay. Podemos hacer.
Yeah. I talk to other people and they don't look. I know.
¿Por qué?
Are there
Look,
ghosts?
puedo decir, what I can say is people don't like Cassandra. But that's all. It's es privado.
Okay. Yeah. Claro. We can go and check on her.
Remy, you were gonna say something?
Oh, they were gonna ask, are there ghosts? Because that's usually the reason why people avoid houses.
No, no ghosts. It's private. But he writes down on a sheet of paper the address for you, and he holds it out to whoever will take it.
V will take it. He reaches out and he takes the piece of paper.
Mm-hmm. And he's just like, she don't answer her phone. I worry because I worry for her. Pero the money for block party, she in charge.
Okay.
Okay.
And if people think bad, if she no around and money no around. Pero Cassandra, I believe. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And Oscar sort of like Oscar sort of looks at everyone and is just like, llámame, call if with trouble. Okay?
Okay.
And that's all Oscar really has for you, unless you have other questions.
So you know not to hit a bug against the monitor anymore, right?
If I do, MacFix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Next
He's good at
time,
fixing things.
next time, no, you pay Mac.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, no, and
Okay, I'm just saying, you know.
no, well, Mac shy, so I was gonna give when we say goodbye to not make Mac shy.
Oh, okay. Yo entiendo.
Yeah.
And-
Don't,
and he-
very shy. Yeah. Yes.
And since I have my arm around V, I just squeeze V. Like, all right, let's go.
We'll go.
Oscar literally was like taking out his wallet. He was gonna try and slip Mac $40 for pressing the button because he thinks you did magic pretty much.
I'm the most magical person in this room. Wink.
But, you know, no, he slips you $40, and it's just like, if computer trouble, I call you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Juli's going to take $20 of it and give it back to Oscar.
No, mira que fino
This-
está.
Well,
And he gives it back.
Mac is just gonna, as the two of them start going at it, is just gonna like sink and just start walking out with the $20 that they have in their pocket. Just put it in their pocket. Let the two of them go at it. It's fine. It's $20 more than they had when they got in here, so they're happy.
Yeah. No, yeah, Oscar like argues with Julio. Look, mira que fino está. ¿Tú lo estás? Are you giving him food? Cause he don't look like it. And then
I
you know that's
cannot
insulting. He knows how to press Julio's buttons.
Juli is
He's
going
known you for
to
so long.
Juli's going to dump the Tupperware that she brought of food on the desk, like from up here, just like not like dump out, but like just like drop it on the desk.
Like
so
slam it.
clumps. Esa es pa' nena, no pa' ti. Just walk
Está
out.
bien. De mi comida, Mac. And he...
Ese hombre se puede comer un pinche. Oh, I don't know if I can swear.
You can swear. It's not like Twitch
We're allowed to
understands.
swear. We're allowed to swear. We're gonna swear.
I think
It is-
so. I think we're okay.
It's in. I almost said pinche TOS.
No puedo leer tío esto. No English.
I
Yeah,
think
only
Mac hears their name just in the conversation and just waves as they're walking, like doesn't even turn back, but just like waves.
As like I'm walking out with V, I look at the ladies that were like waiting. I was like, just give them a wink.
They're like, hola Remy.
V chuckles to himself and he gives like a little, because he's always wearing a cowboy hat, he sort of like does a little tip towards them.
And so while the girls are like, hola Remy, one of the girls, she's like a small, like mousy, like brown haired, very dark skin. And when you tip the hat, she's like, hola V.
Hola, as they're walking out. And as they're leaving, V turns to Remy and goes, Mira, we're not calling Oscar. We're not. I know he said call him in case of anything. We're not calling Oscar. We're calling Nena.
Of course, but we're gonna take care of it. Whatever problems there are, we're gonna take care of it. You know.
Yeah. I just don't want to talk to the ceiling again.
I got lucky. Nana called me, so
Aww.
she didn't get lucky because she had to call me, but I got lucky.
Did it work this time?
No,
Damn it.
one day.
One day. I believe in you.
Maybe in 100 years, but still one day.
You'll get there. I believe in you.
I think Mac at this point probably caught up with with the two of you, and said, "What are we getting? Where are we going?"
Hey, that's a secret. We'll keep it secret, all right? Don't worry about it.
Un secreto. Pero
Okay.
no worries. We're going to the house. We're gonna go get the money. We're gonna go find out what happened to this Cassandra person. The party's gonna go fine. There'll be no other troubles happening. I say as I look around to see if there's any birds watching.
Like as they're talking about it, he's like, "Do you want to take the truck?" And you guys pan over to this beat up, rusting truck that is like, the bed is like full of food that people are still taking out.
Want to kill me, huh?
Mac.
No, Juli, no,
gasps.
never.
Mac gasps.
Lily, you can have shotgun. I'll be in the back.
It's
Mac
like
runs
holding
to
a
the-
shotgun. Yes.
runs
sitting in
to
that
the-
truck.
Mac runs. Is it an open bed truck?
Yes.
Mac runs and jumps in there with like they had brought their longboard with them. Didn't ride it because they were with Uli, but just takes their longboard like under their arm and he just runs and just gets in the back.
The way the truck squeals, like the little groan as Mac like launches himself, and he's like, maybe no. Maybe let's walk.
No.
Tenemos piernas.
Is determinedly walking to
Okay.
the bus stop. No hesitation.
Okay.
He will not get in that truck.
There's like a slight bit of disappointment on their face, but they're like, okay, and they hop out and they get on their longboard and then just start like, very casually coasting alongside to the bus stop.
The address that Oscar gives you is not far away. In Puerto Sol, the beach is down a pretty sheer cliff. It's a long strip of beach. It runs the whole entirety of the city. So it's around like a 5-mile beach. Right? So it has different sections. People call different sections of the beach different things. There's many winding ramps that go, from the beach up, so people can get down. Stairs in different places, all that. And instead of hotels, which the city has been like pretty determinedly against putting on the beach, there's a lot of housing, like a bit away from the cliff. And 2 stops after on the bus, you come to one of these places, and they're all very slight houses, very like almost like pushed together, like very little space between them. And the house that you see is painted a bright pink. You can see that it's got like oh my god, like shell for like stonework, and like most of the houses that you see here. Like the shell cement mix, but bright pink. And also, you see, it looks like the door has been like torn off and then put back on by like maybe like two 12-year-olds standing on each other's shoulders. So like it looks badly damaged, but it's back on its hinges.
Mm.
And right next door, you see a painted like pastel orange house. And this house has a little porch. And on the porch, you see a very small woman in a floral orange, same color house dress with like two like the net chancletas, like that have like the crisscross like little net on the front of it. She has same orange chancletas that she's wearing, and she's in a rocking chair and she's smoking. And so this woman like looks at all of you and is just like, ¿Por qué andas aquí, Julie? And Julie, you would know that Julie and Mac would know this woman as Abuela Carla.
Then Mac, what does Mac know about this abuela?
She talks the most shit.
Uh-huh.
Everything bothers her. Everyone bothers her. And like you and Huli, you wouldn't know, but Huli would know that she has had trouble like with her teeth, and she hasn't been able to get like dentures, so she hasn't been able to eat anything like really good. She gets mad when people try to feed her and like try to give her things that are easier for her to eat. So like she's just nasty, so nasty, because she's angry all the time. And she looks at Juli and she's like, ¿Por qué vienes para acá? Why are you all here?
We just couldn't help but not look at your gorgeous face, Abuelita. I mean, it's just like the sun radiating towards you. That burning sun feeling where we just want to have our skin torched.
I was smacking Remy on the shoulder. No,
Remy.
Que te da skin cancer.
Mac just says, "Hola, abuela," trying hard to smile. Just.
I'd like to roll telepathy. I'd like to know what Abuela Carla's thinking.
Okay. Tell me about your telepathy move.
I will read the description out loud. You can read people's thoughts and put words in their minds. This can allow you to investigate a mystery or read a bad situation without needing to actually talk. You can also manipulate someone without speaking. You still roll moves as normal, except people will not expect the weirdness of your mental communication.
All right.
So
but
I'm not trying
investigating a mystery or reading a bad situation?
Either
would work in this case.
Let's go with what are the stats? Are they the same stat? No.
I believe. Oh my god, I didn't put up my thing.
I was like, oh no, where did I put my sheet?
I forgot to put up the basic moves. Because Monster of the Week has an incredible basic moves reference for everyone to use.
Yeah.
It's so fun and easy.
It really is.
It's one of my favorite things, honestly, about this game.
It's really, I love this game so much.
Okay, our reference sheets. Read badges. They are both with sharp, which you have a -1 in.
I sure do.
Nice.
Damn. I thought I got to roll with weird. That's okay. I rolled a 6. So, like after
Alright.
the -1.
Got you. Mark experience.
Yay.
Hooray.
And so you still get something when you connect telepathically with Carla. But something goes with you. You start to feel pain in your hands. And the whisper of something in a language you don't understand. And then images pop into your mind. A beast growling, howling. As you hear the walls creaking, smashing, and you feel intense fear. But it's not yours. It's Carla's. She lives alone. She doesn't let people take care of her. And so as this monstrosity breaks, howls, makes all this rattling noise, all you feel is the fear and pain of not knowing who to go to for help. And then it violently whiplashes back into your mind and shows you something that you do not want to see from your own past. What does it show you, Huli?
Willie has lived in Puerto Sol their whole life, but they very rarely go down to the beach and go down into the ocean because along with a lot of cliffs, there are lots of little, not quite caves, but like divots where it's not too hard to like slide in. And when they were kids, they would always be climbing around those rocks. And at one point, Huli got stuck playing by themselves, and hours was there just trying to wriggle their foot out, absolutely certain that in the water that was just beyond them there was something. So that is the it mirrors this exact same alone and fear and unknown, and it just like fully floods them in this moment. And he like physically like shakes, like wobbles.
I think Mac would have been standing next to you, trying to slightly hide from Abuela, and would, if you allow it, put a hand like on your back to steady you and say, Hudi, are you okay?
Sí, estoy. Carla, ¿qué pasó?
Carla looked concerned for you for a moment, like she saw something in the way that you reacted. And all of you have never seen this sort of like, well, honestly, who spends time with Carla? And you see this look of like concern before it quickly masks up into something defensive. And she's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean, ¿qué pasó?
I am going to compose myself and gesture to the broken door.
Cassandra's dog.
¿Cuándo?
Who knows? It happened like 3 nights.
Like in a row?
Yes. The
That's a
dog
big dog.
scream like she not take care of it. I see her dog sometime too big. I don't know how it live in the house. How she take care of it?
Como,
Like
like how big? Like didn't fit through the door big or
no,
¿Qué me
it's
está
like
diciendo?
it's like ese Rottweiler, pero
Brought
ancho.
oh. And like what time though? Cuz that Mira, we need to sleep. What time did you hear it?
I need you to. You see her closing off because suddenly she feels like you're making fun of her with the way that you're talking,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to. You understand that right now you're gonna have to charm her,
Right.
try and like get her to open up. You're gonna have to manipulate someone.
All right. Yeah, I've got a -1 in that one.
Ooh, you're just picking the
Y'all are
good
making the
stats
best
for everybody.
choices.
You're
Right.
doing great.
Everyone's
doing so
rolling
good.
terrible for themselves, but I love it.
I got a 6
Ah,
with
we're gonna-
-1, so 5.
we're gonna level up so
Oh,
fast,
mark
y'all.
experience,
We're gonna be
darling.
so powerful.
They do so good.
And again, you see like where Carla had like broached the smallest bit of like opening, it's like it slams shut. She puts out her cigarette and she looks at Yuvi and she's like, no soy tonta. I live for this long in this place. Tú no me hablas así. You wanna know about her stupid dog? You can go knock. And she gets up and she tries to walk inside.
I didn't perdóname, I didn't mean it like sorry.
She's
No,
mean.
no.
Harry just happily waves like bye.
Yeah, and first you hear the clatter of the screen door, and then the slam of the inside door, and you're left alone on the street.
Let me open my mouth. Let's go.
I like it when you open your mouth.
I know you like it. She doesn't.
You could have said anything, and she would have been the same.
Yeah, it's all right. And I think I like pat V on the back, like you know.
How's Mac feeling? You're kind of afraid of Carla, and then all this like tension.
I think Mac was a little bit distracted by how Huli kind of reacted just oddly in amidst all this this tension. And I think I'd kept a hand on her back, but then as soon as Huli had started talking to everyone else, Mac's attention had been to the house because they were thinking, if it's a large dog, I don't think, Mac doesn't know a lot about dogs, but knows that probably they wouldn't break the door down, and they definitely wouldn't put the door back up. So Mac's just looking at the house and thinking about all the ways that they could maybe get inside to see what's going on in there, other than just knocking on the door and saying hello.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, then what are we doing, folks?
Let's go knock on the door and say hello. That's still Huli's like first thought. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Mac's gonna just as we come up to the door, Mac's gonna keep an eye on where Abuela was to see if she's just watching us. And then also to see if there's anything else in the around that seems out of place. Just to keep an eye out.
Why don't you roll me read a bad situation?
I can read.
Remy's definitely like hanging back a little bit, like letting the others go forward to ready to be like if an attack happens somewhere, like they can pounce.
Gotcha. Does anyone else want to roll? Is anyone else trying to like discover something more about this scene, or like because if Remy is trying to sort of like be ready, I think that would be roll read a bad situation as well. If V or Huli want to like investigate or also just be prepared.
I think V would be distracted after that
Gotcha.
interaction because it hit a little bit of a sorer spot than he expected, so he's just like a little just leaning against the wall, just like waiting to see if there's a response.
I got a 9,
Yeah.
by the way.
Huli
Perfect.
will also read a bad situation.
Sounds good. And Maria, you had a wonderful face when you rolled. Can you
Yeah,
let me know what it was?
yeah. It's a 6.
Oh my god, so much experience, y'all.
We're doing so good in a bad way.
All right, I'll hold on to that for a second.
Great.
Um, Rena, what did you roll?
A 4.
Okay, and Remy, on a 7 to 9, I believe you get one question.
Oh, I mean it's still a mixed success, but does this also count for my -1 that I had previously?
Yes. So
Okay, yes, that would
this
be an
this
8.
this is
Yeah.
this uses up your -1 forward because
Okay,
it's
I
your
just
next
want to
roll.
make sure.
All right. Yep. So you can ask any of these questions here.
Yeah,
Also,
I think. Oh, go ahead.
oh, I completely forgot what it was.
No worries. I think I want to ask, are there any dangers we haven't noticed? Because that's what Remy is worried about.
Yes. As soon as you walk up to this door, well, Huli knocks, and and when she says hello, from inside, you hear a violent crash, and then the noise of something. It sounds like plopping, almost like when you like someone like with mud covered boots, like hitting the ground and like the suction of it lifting back up. And then you hear glass breaking, crashing. And we'll come back to that after break.
Oh my good golly. Oh, oh no. I'm
Yeah,
planning
it's time to
some.
stretch our legs.
Oh.
Get a little
Oh.
bit of that in.
Oh.
The high tension.
Ay, 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 ay,
The
ay.
abuelitas shutting you down.
Yes.
Damn.
Episode 1. We have it all. We've got it all.
We've got a lot of experience.
Oh, we've got so
Yes.
much experience. You're right.
Yeah, I didn't take a look at y'all's stats until tonight because I was like, we're doing, everybody's got their sheet done. It's fine. I looked and I was like, oh
Yeah.
No, we
yeah,
did
yeah,
good.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
doing good.
We're doing
Yeah.
good.
my God. Yes, I love to see it, guys. All right, so we will be back in around 10 to 15 minutes. Get up, stretch, go refill your waters, hydrate or dehydrate.
Hydrate or die straight.
Yeah, there you go.
Ugh.
All right,
We'll see you soon,
see you
everybody.
soon. And welcome back, everyone. Thank you for your patience as we get ready again to delve into the story. Now, for anyone who's joining us just now, we have introduced our lovely cast of characters. We have Remy, the monstrous, Mac, the mundane, V, the spell slinger, and Huli, the spooky. And they have been tasked for finding the financial coordinator for the block party that's happening in 2 days, Cassandra. And they have discovered that her door has been like destroyed and then put back on the hinges. And when they knocked, it seems like they've awoken something inside the house. Stuff breaking, glass shattering, and then something going very quiet. Remy, as part of your question, there's something inside the house, and it smells like earth. You are pretty sure that it is hostile. And you have not seen the inside of this house, so you do not know where it is once the sound has gone
Did
quiet.
the glass shattering sound like a window, like as if trying to escape?
No.
Okay. Remy just pulls out their I already forgot. We were just talking about it. And I already forgot how to pronounce it because that's how I am. That's how my brain works. They're maquayado. And it's again for anybody who's just coming in, think of Cloud's Buster Sword. That's how big it is, but it has jagged obsidian on the side and green jade inlaid in the dark wooden area. Pulls it out and goes, "Everybody step back."
Louis steps very far back.
V-
In real quick before we continue with Remy, for Mac, you can see that this house, while very thin, there's not a lot of space between the houses, but there's about a foot of clearance between the houses that has like a lot of like the water meter, the electricity meter, and everything. And you can like try and squeeze through there if you want to get around the house. Are you trying to do it quietly or loudly? Or you don't care about how loud you are? Okay. Mac, roll act under pressure. That's with cool. Remy, are you about to like break down this door?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the thing where you attack the keyhole because that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to attack the middle of the door. You attack where the actual point of contention is. And yeah, just go bang to like break it open.
You are huge. This is a huge weapon. You just do that. Okay? So it fucking shatters. This is not a strong door before, and it did not look good in this process anyway. So like it shatters and nothing reacts inside. When this door is no longer blocking the inside though, everyone gets a horrible smell. It's like rotting and it's just like wafts outside.
V takes off his cowboy hat and he tries to like fan it away from him, and V like that's not good.
Gotcha.
That's okay.
What?
Juli's gonna pull out a container of Vicks and from
Just
like
put it under her nose.
just
So she don't have to
and then
smell
offer it around.
Gotcha. Maria, how we doing? How's your act under pressure? Oh, awesome. Okay, so when you roll a mixed success with act under pressure, I can give you a worst outcome a hard choice or a price to pay. So, Mac, you are starting to move through this like very close area. And you can hear you can hear the crash of the door, right? And then suddenly you feel like something is dripping down on top of you. Like you just feel something cold. And it's not like water, it's got like a weight to it. And start to like drip down your face. What do you do? This is like you're in the middle of like moving down this alley.
I realized I was muted. What I do is we see Mac just kind of freeze for like a second and close their eyes and take a couple like shaky breaths. And then with their eyes still closed, they like kind of squint whatever eye is going forward open a little bit and then just kind of keep going as if, you know, I can't see whatever it is and it can't see me.
Perfect. So you manage to stay quiet as you move around to the other side of the house. Do you check what's fallen on you when you get out the other side?
Yes.
Okay, it's wet. It's kind of like mud, but it's got a different consistency, and it is like an umber red. And if you've ever done any art classes at the center, you know this to be clay, like wet clay, but something's really off about it. Like it smells weird. Like it doesn't smell only of like wet earth. There's something like almost like foul, like trash. And so that's what got on your face.
I think they'll take the bottom of their flannel and just like bring it up and like wipe it as much as they can off their face. It's in their hair probably, and there's no way that's not getting taken care of anytime soon.
Gotcha. So in this moment, we have Mac at the back of the house. There's not a lot of space in the back of the house. You see down this whole street, you can see clotheslines, clothes hanging, and then a short distance, and then a high fence, a high chain link fence, because right past it is the drop off. You can like see the ocean from here. It's a gorgeous view. And this iron fence is sort of rusted. There's ocean water constantly like flowing up to it. And so that's what you see. And then in the back, there is a large door that is also like someone broke it down and put it back up.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna leave you there
Great.
for 1 second.
I just want to say there I do have a move called Don't Worry, I'll check it out when I go off by myself to check out somewhere or something scary. I mark XP.
All right, perfect. Without having to give me a hard move to give you. Look at that.
No, I just go and do scary stuff. That's high chance of getting scary stuff happening. It's fine.
Yes. Okay. So the three of you, there is a horrible scent coming from inside. from what you can see, just in front of you, this is what you're seeing. You see a small entryway. You see that there's like a table that has like a little bowl in it for like keys. The keys are there. It seems relatively undamaged. And then the more you go through past this entryway, the worse things look. There's like a runner carpet that's like okay and then torn up. And then you can't see what's on the right side, but you can see a dark smudge going from carpet to like the edge of tile. And then on the other side, you can see what looks like the start of like a living room. And that's what you're seeing right now.
So it's like it's dark as it goes further in, right? So there's very little visually past what we are able to see.
Correct.
Okay.
Because of the way that the houses are so hunched together,
Yeah.
there's like no light coming in through the sides, and you can't really see the back of the house. It looks like there's like might be another hallway deeper in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very thin opening. It's a very thin house. It's dark on both sides, and it looks like there's might be something further in that goes towards the back of the house. And I would like to give you guys a chance to do another either investigate a mystery or read a bad situation. But tell me which one you're choosing.
Does that include me, or is it just everyone who's going inside the house?
Right now, this includes the folks at the front.
Okay.
What is Mac doing in the back while we get these rolls?
So if there's not, are there any windows in the back, or is it just the one door?
There looks to be like a high window.
Okay.
It's not small, but it's up high. You think that's probably like a bathroom window.
Okay.
So, like no one can like peek in.
Yeah.
And then the door.
Okay. Okay. Mac thinks that they're 6 feet, but is that still too high for Mac to reach?
It's probably like a little bit above his eye level, but not taller than him.
Okay.
So like he can reach up.
Okay. Then I think Mac is gonna listen at the back door, and if they don't hear anything, they're gonna kind of try to quietly creak it open.
All right, yeah. Mac doesn't hear anything. Actually, you know what? You also read a bad situation since you're trying to listen for stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna flop back to our front folks while we're doing that roll. What do we get?
I got an 11.
Our first true success of the game.
Yeah.
Nice. What we got for Remy?
Well, first, are you doing read a bad situation or investigative mystery?
Oh, yeah.
I was doing investigative mystery.
All right,
Gotcha.
because I got a 12, so I'll do read a bad situation then.
We love to see it. Was Huli rolling, Rena?
Yeah, Huli can also roll read a bad situation.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna let oh yeah, let me know what you roll. Yo, that's so many questions. So I'm gonna just do like a special little house rule for me. I know it's like on the advanced, like a 12 plus or whatever, but I will let you spend 2 hold to ask me a question that's not on the list. If you want to think about that. And we're gonna go with V first. Oh, sorry, do you have a question, Diana? No? Okay. We're gonna go with V first. When you roll a complete success on Investigative Mystery, you get to ask me 2 questions.
Okay. The first question that I'm going to ask is, what is being concealed here?
Okay. So, you, are you walking in, or are you sort of still at the door right now?
I think at this point, because the wafting smell sort of like scrambled them, he takes a moment to like sort of step in a little bit. So he's like at the threshold and he's like reaching in to see if there's like light in it as he's looking around. Like, one of
Yeah.
those flip switches.
Yeah, you flip the switch and light fills up the room to show more destruction. There's broken glass all over the floor. So I'm glad that this isn't one of your barefoot days. And what you can see in here is this doesn't look like a struggle, right? If it was a struggle, you'd picture that things would be like sort of cast all over the place. What you see hidden here is that something did this on purpose. You get the idea that someone was looking for something. Just by the way that things were like sort of scattered all in one area.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Knowing that information and realizing that he's seen what struggles to look like, this is not it. He wants to know, where did it go?
I'm gonna give you two answers. Something definitely left out the front door. Just by the way that like things sort of come forward,
Mm-hmm.
and there's something still in the house.
Okay.
You can't see it in this front area, so in this back area that you can't see, you're probably assuming it's there.
Okay. When that information sort of hits him, his hat is still out in his hand, so he holds it out a little bit, and he looks to Remy, and he gives a little bit of a nod and nods towards the back, like it's back there, like there's something back there.
Perfect. Do you, Remy and Huli, do you have your questions for me?
Huli, you can go first.
I mean, Huli's question in these situations is always, so I'm just gonna go with what is the best way to protect the victims? The victims being either Cassandra if she's still here, or V and Remy and Mac, even though Huli hasn't quite noticed that Mac is missing yet.
So, whatever is still in here is hiding. So, the best way to protect if Cassandra's in here or everyone else in here is trying to figure out where it is and getting the sense of what it might be to prepare for what could happen.
And I saw you nod towards the back, so I've got
Yeah.
something of an idea.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna spend 2 hold then to ask, what's the best way for me to put this danger down?
You're glancing around and you see, like, with this smudges on the carpet on the tile, right? It smells foul. But you're pretty sure it's not blood. It's too earthy. Like grave rot. Something you've probably gotten to smell before. Your boss asking you to dig up something for some awful ritual or something. And you get the sense that whatever is left here that it is a creation. And so the best way to deal with the danger would be to figure out maybe what it's made of and how to deal with that. And what you get the sense of is like it's definitely something got something to do with like some sort of soil, some sort of earthiness.
Does it seem like the smudge and everything? Yeah, like if it's like grave dirt or anything, but does it seem like it's from this area? Like this city kind of great? Like, does it seem like
I'll give you
sandy
that
dirt?
it
Yeah.
it's got like a very robust red color.
Mm, okay.
So you have you it's it if Remy knows their dirts, it's clay, but it smells like rot. You would
Remy
never
does.
bury you would never bury a body in clay.
Okay. I think I'll hold the other question for now.
All
Just
right.
like, but I will like mention that to the others, like in a hushed whisper, like we might be dealing with not a zombie, but something inhuman.
Marina, does Huli want to use any more of her hold right now, or do you want to save it for just a moment?
I'm gonna save that for now.
Gotcha. And we're gonna go with Mac. They have just creaked open the door. And what did they roll?
A 7, so mixed success.
Mixed success. You get one hold, darling.
Get one. As they creak the door open, they are going to try to take in as much as they can see. So I'm going to. My question is, what's the biggest threat from what I can see?
Gotcha. So where you are, you look to be looking into like a small laundry area with like a bathroom, and then you see like off its hinges a door into a large bedroom area, but it's barely illuminated from the light that's coming through like the cracked door behind you. But you hear something wet and sucking. Again, like that, like a plop, like someone covered in mud, like walking and the biggest threat to you is something you see moving in the light. It moves slow and it looks like a dog, but as if mud were constantly rolling down it. It has maybe less dog-like as it moves across. It's probably as big as a Saint Bernard. With looks like 6 legs, 2 large ones, and then like its body slopes downward into 4 smaller ones. And again, it's like it's constantly rolling like this like liquid dirt. And it smells awful.
I think in this moment, Mac realizes how incredibly alone they are in this house, as far as I know. And there's up until this point they hadn't really been thinking about the whole situation. They're just like, oh, I'll just go in and find whoever it is and get him out, and it's fine. And I think in this moment it really hits them that they can't do anything about this. They don't have anything to take care of this. And so I think there's a moment of panic that just starts to seep in. Their breathing starts to quicken a little bit, and I think they start to try to make their way towards the front of the house because they know at least if they can get towards the front door, that's where Huli is, that's where V is, that's where people who can do things are.
Okay. Are you closing the back door?
They don't think to close the back door.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. And are you trying to move with any sort of silence, or are you just trying to rush to the front?
They are trying to move in a way that someone who is desperately trying to be quiet in the middle of the night and cannot for the life of them be silent. So like when you're trying to sneak to the kitchen to get a snack and you know where all the squeaky floorboards are, and for some reason every single night you always hit that one squeaky floorboard, that's the kind of silence that they're moving towards. They think
Okay.
they're being quiet, and really they're just being desperate.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna ask you to roll act under pressure, because you're responding to something that you've learned from read a bad situation. You will get a +1 to this roll.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Great. That's cool. 9 is what I got with that.
All right. Then you let me give you a choice.
Okay.
You can be fast and loud, or you can slow down and be quiet.
Oh no. I think they're good. As much as I myself would be like, of course you would be quiet. No, they wouldn't be quiet. They would be overcome by panic, I think. And I think would start trying to be quiet, and as soon as any noise they made, doesn't matter how loud or quiet, it sounds like a cacophonous noise in their head. As soon as they make any kind of noise, they are just going.
Got you. Everyone inside, you can hear something on the side of the house, just like rushing, like something like almost like a cat got startled or something, like.
I think that has to be when Huli turns around and realizes that Mac is not with them. And she's gonna dash into the house. And I guess I'm gonna roll protect someone, even though tough is not a great stat for Huli.
Okay. I love this. So, who are you currently protecting in this moment?
Mac.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna. All right, perfect. So go ahead and roll.
6.
I love failure in this game. I love it so much.
I forget. Is there a way we can help, or is it only like?
Yeah, you can help out.
Okay.
And you can do it after rolls.
And you roll
So-
plus cool.
Yeah, but you do roll plus cool, darling.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I rolled
but
double
how are
fives.
you
I can
how
roll
are
it
you
again.
helping Huli in this situation?
Well, they're wanting to protect, so that means they're protecting from someone. So
Yeah.
so I'm attacking that someone to distract. Like this kind of blindly.
So where
like,
so you're trying to where are you lashing out at is what I want to know.
kind of like, I guess it would be like like watching Huli like dash and then following behind and then just kind of like in front of Huli, because in theory Huli is protecting in front of Mac and everything. So just like
Okay.
kind of like just like
A
wildly.
reminder
like,
that Mac is
dashing.
outside right now.
Yeah, but
A Huli rushed inwards. I love it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I trust Huli's protective instincts. Like, okay, so, and Huli doesn't have their shotgun with them, so yeah, it's kind of like, I hate to. It's the only scene I can think of, but it's in The Last Samurai when Tom Cruise's character is like wildly like wielding their things against the tigers. That's kind of what I'm doing. It's like just wielding like no, like do not touch them kind of thing.
I love it.
I
Okay.
also wanted to clarify that Mac would have run through the house, not gone through the back door. So, like, I'm coming in from the back of the house, and I know that everyone else was at the front door, so I'm running into the house.
Okay.
If that changes anything.
Let's pause. Let's pause real quick. We're gonna roll back. I thought Mac was going down the alley. So, Mac, the only way through to the front of the house is through the bedroom where the dog is.
Oh,
There's
then
just
never
a small,
mind.
There's
It's
a small
all-
laundry area.
Never
There's the
mind.
bathroom, and then there's the door to the bedroom that you can
Then
see.
never
that is
mind.
open.
Everything's exactly as you described it. Mac is going the only other way there is.
Gotcha.
Everything is back in order. We're fine.
I rolled a
Perfect.
9,
There-
-1, and 8, so I get. I think I still get the help.
You do get yes. They
Plus
get
1.
+1 to the roll. You expose yourself to trouble and danger.
Yes.
That does bring me to a 7.
Yes, we love to see it.
Oh, did I mark my experience? I don't remember. No, I did not.
Okay, perfect.
Mark that XP. It's so good. It's so tasty.
And like, while this is happening, by the way, V is still at the door. He's like, "What do we do?" Oh,
Yeah, you see Huli bolt in past you.
Just
You
shoves
see
away.
Remy.
And I'm like, God, okay, just like he tries to square himself up like like a flesh wall by the door. Like, if it comes out, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be ready.
Okay. So, the way that you protect Mac is that this thing was definitely gonna follow them out the back door, but hearing the vast footsteps and the loud crashing around them, you hear the plotting get like slow at first and then quick, and then to your side where you can see, you guys really haven't taken in the room yet, so to your side where you see like a door, you see something crash out. It is enormous. It's probably like 4 feet at the shoulder, a large head that's like weeping this liquid like dirt, like, and no eyes, and a maw that opens and has jagged stones in it. It looks maybe like 8 feet long, with this body that's like lean at the front with large legs, and then slopes into this like 4-legged back. And again, like, it looks like streaks of black sometimes come out with this, like, the way it constantly leaks this liquid. And it smells so fucking bad. Yes. And this thing looks dead on to you both and leaps.
Oh my god.
Huli, you protected Mac from getting hit in the back by this. But it is powerful. You can feel it, the way that it makes the pain in your body sort of like sing, like it's almost made of the same thing. And Remy, this smell is some sort of really rank magic. And as it rushes forward, it collides into Huli. And Huli, you will take 1 harm as this thing covers you in clay.
I'm so stressed right now.
This
is
has a
amazing.
tail, right? It has
Huh?
a tail, right?
Oh yes. Like,
I probably that's like the closest thing to me. I'm gonna grab it and I can do life drain for 1 harm intimate.
sounds good. Go ahead and kick some ass.
Yeah, I can do that. That's a 5. So much
Okay.
experience. So much.
Let's go.
Okay, Remy feels a power run through them. And they feel what does it feel like when Remy drains someone's life actually?
It feels like it I have it in my head and so I'm trying to figure the words for it. It's not like, like a sucking sensation or anything like that, like because you're draining someone's life, pulling it into you. No, it feels like they're going to throw up every single time.
So how does Remy react when this feeling gives a bone deep, almost like a pleasure? It feels good to try and draw life out of this.
Shoot. I think with their Hefe on their mind and everything and all that, it's almost like not having sugar in a long time and wanting more of that. Like, oh, like I've been good. I deserve a little treat, right?
Very good. Then it's almost strange because the creature doesn't seem to shrink away, doesn't seem to get any pain. But you drink deep from the grab. And you realize that you were taking magic instead of life. And after this feeling, this good feeling, you start to feel something weak, like a spreading toxicity from when you were touching this. You see it like black lines suddenly rushing up your hands, up your arms, and you will take 2 harm from absorbing whatever this great feeling and very bad for you magic.
Yeah, I think Remy just takes a step back and is very quiet and is just like staring at their hand and just like slowly processing this, unfortunately forgetting everything else, even forgetting the fact that they're hurt.
Gotcha. Make sure to mark your experience. All right. Matt, V, what's going on?
Mac's goal is to just get to the front. So they're trying to squeeze through this tiny space as quickly as possible.
Done.
All the while also thinking that there's like something weird up here too because of all the like mud stuff that was on their face. But they're trying they're trying to like be like, don't think about it, and it's only making them thinking about it more.
Oh. Okay, but like honestly, since you're going fast, you get to the front. You're there. And then you see V and you hear the crash and you hear like a wet like something just like someone like threw a mud ball against the wall, and that's unfortunately Huli getting hit by this thing.
Yeah.
I think as Mac emerges and he hears the slop, but there's no vocal response from Remy or anything like that. He just hears the hard hit, That's when he starts to realize, shit, they're in. So he puts on his cowboy hat and he rushes in to
Yeehaw,
see
motherfucker.
what is going on.
I think as soon as V starts to rush in, like Mac has just like skid around the corner, basically like toppling over themselves, and watch V run in, and we'll just like shout after them because they came up here because everybody was supposed to be up here, and now everybody's inside where all of the bad stuff is. And is gonna try to like scramble towards the front door.
All right. Like when you enter, that's when you see again this beast. And Mac, it looks so much worse up close. It looks so much worse in the light. This thing is fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Huli, like from like the mid chest down, covered in this nasty clay that had just dripped onto you.
Mm-hmm.
And V, you're seeing the same. What do you, in this moment? How do you react? What are you doing?
He reacts instinctively, and he's he how would Remy also look? Like he sees Huli like chest down, like covered in gunk. What does Remy look like?
I think there's like a distracted look on their face. A little ashy, not pale, but like ashy, and maybe you can actually see on their hand, like as it's as if like there's like a black light, so the tattoo is actually showing now, glowing, but it's like a dark black kind of coloring and everything, and they just like look like they're in their own world, and you don't see like there's no. I don't think the harm is obvious. Yeah.
No. And does he see the creature has it slammed itself against Huli? Has it moved away from Huli?
It's like standing right in front of her now.
Is it hostile? Like it as he
Yeah,
is
yes. It is bearing jaws, and it is rearing back, getting ready to like chomp down on Huli.
he is in that moment, just these people are in danger and this is a threat to everyone. He's going to go ahead and use magic.
Gotcha.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
To protect Huli, he's going to go ahead. He has combat magic. And I specifically chose Blast of the fire variety.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So we're just yeeting it, throwing it.
Yeah. I do. Can't. This sounds like kick some ass with magic.
Yeah.
Kick some ass with magic. My new favorite
Kick some ass with
sitcom.
magic.
So you can go ahead and roll kick some ass. Do
Alrighty.
you have anything that makes it? Yes, combat magic. So you're gonna roll with plus weird.
Plus weird, +2. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 9 + 2, 11.
Perfect.
It's delightful.
So that's so with regular kick some ass, you get a bonus for rolling above a 10. So you get to choose an extra effect. You can either gain an advantage, do terrible harm, make sure that you don't suffer any harm, or force the creature where you want them.
Okay, so I can just pick one of those, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I want to force the creature where I want, and the main focus is to get it as far away from Julie as possible.
Okay.
Julie, sorry.
Perfect. And so, Revan, V, what does your magic look like when you use it?
When he uses it, he has V as part of his attire always has one or two very specific focuses that he uses for his. For this one in particular, he today has it is a necklace. Hold on. It is a necklace, and it is an empty bottle of testosterone. It is the very first bottle of testosterone that he ever used when he started transitioning, with pieces of rose quartz inside rattling about. And as he sees this danger, he rips it off of his necklace and he holds it out and he starts saying something in a language that is like probably a little too quick for anybody to catch, but it comes out of him like his entire body seems to light up with like this bright blue flame and then throws itself forward, and like it is his manifested desire to protect, it just shoves forward, so it's this blue fire that shoves itself against this creature.
Got you. So, this does how much harm?
It does 2 harm.
Okay.
2 harm plus fire, so that'd be 4.
Gotcha. Okay. So you see this creature, large, towering, just sort of like ready to bite Huli, and then suddenly it looks where this bright light's coming from, and it hits it face on, and you see the dripping, like coagulate. It's like clay drying in the sun. And you can see the cracks sort of start to go through this thing's body, and it explodes back towards you. So it rushes, so it hits and it rolls, leaving all this like muck and cracked clay, and hits the wall hard. And you think that this thing was looking really powerful. Now it looks like it doesn't know what the fuck just hit it. And but unfortunately, with the power of your blast, like the shards of clay that exploded back sort of like almost dig into you, leaving you with 1 harm from that damage.
Okay.
All right, Mac. You just saw V like throw this huge fire blast, and this thing is still up. It doesn't look good, but it's still up, and you hear like the cracking as like through the cracks the clay is trying to seep out again. What are you doing?
The moment that Mac, who's kind of just been is like in the doorway, like hands on the sides of the door frame, sees the apparent state of how Huli looks, and how he's covered in this mud and this guck, and I don't know if she's hurt or if they're not or anything like that. The fear that was in Mac's head from this creature is superseded by the fear that Huli is hurt, and so is going to rush in right up to Huli, and I think is going to try. How does Huli look at this point? Like their face, or like what are they? How do they look? How are they feeling?
So, like, Mac has seen Huli pick up like a hot pan, like from the hot side, and like put it down with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so this might actually be the first time that Mac has seen Huli in pain of any kind.
Mm.
And like it is not well, I guess I don't know if it's an immense pain or not.
Mm-hmm.
deer keeper?
I
Is it
think
like
it's
a
enough to shock you.
yeah? Okay.
If you've ever sort of like if you've ever had like if you've ever hit the wall too hard like during a fall, or like accidentally like if you like tripped and like fell onto like a table, like you feel like something hit you hard.
Yeah.
Not enough to break anything, but like enough to like, you know, take the air out of your lungs.
Yeah. Yeah. So Huli looks breathless and pained and like teeth gritted, but they are still standing.
Mm-hmm.
And they are actually like reaching down into their boot for their knife. So like he doesn't look helpless at
Okay,
all.
okay. Um. Okay.
Do you need a moment to think?
No, it just
Okay.
it slightly changes what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set myself up for future success by setting myself up for failure now. So what? Taking that in, seeing that you're shaken but also still there to fight. Seeing what Remy is doing with their giant impressive sword, seeing the show that V did, Mac is again hit with this feeling of, well, what are you gonna do then? What are you gonna do now? And so they pull out their multi-tool that has a knife on it, and in the with the desire to protect, they're gonna rush this thing. They are terrified beyond belief, but they're like, I just can't stand here and let all these people I have to do something. So they're gonna rush at this thing with a pocket knife, basically.
Okay.
Which is also a move I have. What could go wrong? When I charge into immediate danger without hedging my bets, I can hold 2 and spend them to do a couple of things, which is great.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite moves. Go ahead and kick some ass.
I'm not tough.
I don't know. It feels like you're tough in your heart, baby.
Oh, in my heart, yes. In my muscles, well, it's a 7 minus 1 for a 6.
Okay.
Oh no, I lied. It's just a 7 because I'm a minus weird. We're fine. We're okay. It's a 7.
Awesome. So you inflict damage.
1 damage.
Yes. So, all right. So you sink your pocket knife into this thing, and your hand kind of goes with it.
Oh.
Okay.
But you hit something inside of this.
I'm gonna follow that then, because one of the things I can do is inflict +1 harm. So if I feel like I hit something, even as my hand is sinking in, and I'm just like, this is the worst thing ever, I'm just gonna push a little bit harder in there and go even farther in to inflict that extra harm.
Okay. So
Can I
how does Matt? Yes.
add while this is happening? Not necessarily that Remy's realizing what everything's going on. They're like, Master said to get magic, and I want to use big magic to drain all the magic from this creature. I don't care what's going on with anybody else right now, you know.
So in this moment, big magic takes a little bit more preparation. So I don't want to say no to you, but right now, give me a second. Let me finish with Mac, and we'll come back to that. Mac, when what does bravery mean to Mac?
When Mac thinks of bravery, Mac thinks of Huli, because Mac has seen them fighting with their who they are, their identity, their spooky nature, and trying to accept herself as the way that they are, and still persisting, still deciding to be someone who wants to care for others and who puts on a good face because they want to be there for other people. And that's what Mac wants to try to emulate, especially in this moment.
Gotcha. This thing looks at you as you sink your knife in, and you see death, you smell death, and you push further into this thing, and suddenly it shivers, it quakes, and the liquid stops running, and it lays still. Mac, whatever this thing was, you have mobilized it, you have fought your way in, and you took this thing down.
Mac kind of pulls their hand out and just like sinks to the ground, just like on their knees with like their legs splayed to the sides, like hands down, drops their knife, and is just like staring at this thing, and doesn't fully realize like what they actually did, and is starting to feel the weight of like, oh wait, I could have died. We could have that could have been bad. That could have been really bad. And it's just kind of like hit with all of that.
Yeah. Remy, this creature's magic is still there. And you can feel it. You can feel how good it would feel to take into your body. However, the taint is more prevalent the longer it lies there cooling. You can take this magic, but it will be obvious and it will show. Or you can come back later. You can take it later, but it will be far worse on you.
Yeah, I think there's a moment where, again, not quite acknowledging the awesomeness that Mac just did, and what everybody else, of course, it's just like a hand reaches out towards the body, and then like it curls up and pulls back, and it's like maybe later. Like at least in the moment, they think they'll come back later. Whether or not that happens, we'll find out. But they kind of come out of themselves and look at everybody else. We should regroup outside and make sure everyone's okay.
We still need to see if Cassandra's here. Bully is like shaken, but still standing and still very determined to make sure that there are no other victims. So, like, Huli will like, you can go outside if you want. I'm going to see if she's here.
V sort of looks at Mac, and if you're okay with it, he puts a hand on their shoulder and gives a bit of a squeeze. Yeah, you did good. We gotta go though.
Okay. And just kind of reach down and not even looking, but just like reaching around to pick up the multi-tool, and stands up and is still just kind of looking in the direction of this creature, but is definitely just looking, is kind of not looking at anything really. But yeah, we'll stand up, and we'll, as if not hearing Huli at first, we'll say, "Did you find Cassandra? Is she Is she here? Did you find her?
Huli cannot physically like reach out and hold Mac's face because they are still covered in gunk. But
Just still very smelly.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
This is a big glob of clay that's just like starting to dry in Mac's hair.
Yeah.
I am curious, since I did still have a hold left, if I can
Yes.
twist what's the best way to protect the victims into being like, is there any other victim? Like, with the understanding, victims outside of this room, to give us a sense of whether she's here or not.
Let me take a look at this real quick. I'm gonna tell you instead to do another. Are there any dangers that you haven't noticed? So that I think will fit a little bit better.
Okay, that works.
Yes. So here, you notice as this thing sort of like melts into like a big clay puddle with like the dry pieces, sort of dry cracked pieces from V's amazing attack. This thing was in here sort of lurking around. But and while it's big, right, you'd feel that it would leave more marks where it made messes. And so there's like a mess in the bedroom. There's like but out here, except for where it had run around, that there's no clay. Right? Except for like the drag from the kitchen that goes to the bedroom and everywhere it's stepped now. There's no clay around a bunch of other damaged things in the room. So real quick, I'm gonna let you guys know what's in this room now that you can like properly take a look at it. So you are all standing in a living room, right? There's a desk that looks completely like someone had like turned it inside out, that has a bunch of like small bottles that look like they have like some crushed herbs or powders in it. And then like some more like dried herbs on top of it, and then scattered around the floor next to it. There is a sofa that has been completely destroyed, like torn out with large claws, as well as like a TV that is now broken on the ground. And behind you, there is the kitchen. So you have like a small like bar wall with a small counter, and on tile there's a table that seems relatively unharmed, a shattered chair, and then the refrigerator is open. And there you can see where some of the worst smell is coming from. There is so much meat, like a lot of large cuts, like steak, beef flank, stuff like that, and it has been left in the air, and it is horrible smelling. But also you can see that like some of the meat has been like almost like left on the ground, like half eaten, and like the red blood of the meat is mixing with this clay as it drags out. And so that's what we're seeing in the room. But there's no sign of Cassandra. Not here. You can also see, again, the door to the bedroom is smashed open. You can see some of that dark clay, like red clay, almost like someone has brushed the carpet with sticky blood. But the rest of the bedroom is dark, except for the light coming in from the living room.
Huli has a bad feeling and is going to look for like a I don't know if like a bucket or if like the kitchen sink has like one of the little hose things, like just like a big thing of water, and is going to kneel down next to the like head and face of the mud creature, and like very carefully and worriedly like start kind of seeing if there is something underneath the mud that is, I don't know if it's drying or if it's just still wet.
No, it was starting to dry, and when with the water, like it seems to mix, get a little bit thicker, but it starts to run. And beneath this creature is like a bundle of newspapers. Almost like a core for the creature to exist. And you see that like there's a deep tear where Mac like hit it and like tore one of these bundles open. And inside you can see something. If you unwrap it a little bit more, it's a tongue. It's a cow tongue. We've used it so many times. But it was like wrapped in this newspaper bundle and used as a core for this creature. You would know this without even having a roll. And maybe V too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
And Remy for sure. Unfortunately, Mac, I don't think unless you've been listening to Huli's like many instructions about magic. This is dark magic. The creation of something to work to obey orders and cause harm.
Having seen where this dark magic is, there's a moment where V takes in that this is dark. He sort of turns to Remy and he remembers seeing like the black on his hands and the mask on his hands being not like showing. And he turns to him and they're holding hands now, and he looks down at his hands and he's like, "Are you good?"
Oh, I'm better than good.
What do you mean?
And they kind of shake their head for a second, like as if to whatever the lingering feeling, to like shake it off. I'm fine. I didn't get to enjoy the action this time.
No, you look distracted. Your hands, though. Are you sure you're good?
Yeah. Something, I guess, the mix of smells and remind me of something nothing like this, of course, I've encountered in the past.
Right.
Sorry.
It's all good as long as you know you're good.
Yeah. What else would I be?
I love that. So, it's a final sort of like note before we end for the night. Mac. Where you have dipped your arm into this creature, where your multi-tool is cut, there's instead of the clay drying, it seems to be now sort of seeping off of you, and it leaves behind a mark. And in this mark, it's almost like a stylized eye on the side of your hand. And for a second, when you look down at it, it looks real. And it's staring at you It blinks twice and then seems to fade away. You feel like something has changed inside of you. You don't know what it is. And with that, we're going to finish our session out for today.
Oh! Oh!
Okay.
Okay. Good. It's fine.
Get Oscar on the phone right now. You got some explaining to do.
You got some explaining to do.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, my lovely players. Making this first session an amazing one. I told them that I would take them to the knife factory.
You did. And then we all brought our own knives.
Yeah. BYOK.
Okay.
Wow.
So we were gonna go around our table. Maria, you want a moment?
I'm great. I'm great.
Gotcha. Then let's start with you. Any plugs, anything you want to say for the end of our show?
Oh my god. Hi everybody. This is fantastic and I'm so excited to do this a lot more. My name is Maria. You can find me everywhere the internet is sold at Happy Capster. I am a variety streamer and TTRPG performer and content creator, as well as the co-founder of Goblin Society Games, a company that makes TTRPG kinds of stuff. You can find me in other shows such as the award-winning show Outcast and Outclassed every other Thursday night, Pathfinder 2E on Waffles Maple Syrup, and this place because it's great. So be here all the time. That's me. Oh, I'm gonna be at Big Bad Con, but we could probably talk about that next week too.
Gotcha. All right, everyone.
Hello. So I'm Ravan. My pronouns are he, they, and I am a Twitch streamer, a video editor, a freelance artist. Listen, I'm a jack of all trades. But you can always find me at the Mythic Bunny, wherever you can find the intranet. Most recently, I'm doing PNG tuber video streaming. I get to play a little jackalope librarian who has no idea how he ended up where he is, but he'll play horror games to make you happy. And that's it for me.
All right. And Diana?
As I go by Diana Moon online, you can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Diana Moon for as long as Twitter is still around. YouTube and Twitch at xDianaMoonX. And on Sundays, you can find me at Nerdgasm Noir, twitch.tv, with the Reclaimers and all POC TTRPG. We've had some hiccups the past few weeks, but in theory, we're going to be good this week. We're continuing our campaign of Apocalypse World, so that's fun. The OG PBTA, the A part of PBTA. And yeah, if any of y'all are going to Big Bad Con, you can sign up for panels. I am in 3 of them. They're all on the last day, so that's going to be fun. So check that out.
Thank you. And last but not least, for my players, Rena, darling.
Hi, I'm Rena at Liquid Rena at the internet stuff everywhere except for the new Twitter alternatives, because I'm gonna see which one of them becomes Twitter before I make an account. I'm a variety content creator. I'm currently in cosplay hell, and you can see most of that over on Instagram at Liquid Rena. And the only thing that I'm really plugging is my dog's GoFundMe, which is my pinned tweet on Twitter. And I will also be a Big Bad Con, and I am guesting on a couple of panels, but my panel that is just going to be me talking is about education and kids and tabletop. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, let me know. And I will show you how to find the link.
And I have been your keeper this evening. My name is Victor. You can find me everywhere at Villain Vicencio, because that's my favorite mispronunciation of my last name. I am a player on a homebrew 5e game called Miss Lost over on the Mandy's channel. I play Sinark, the saddest cat boy in the world. but also the most suave. Um,
Love a
Remy
wet
and Sin
cat.
would get along very well. You can also find me every other Saturday on Polished Cryptid playing a Darkening of Ages, a Dragon Age game, where I am a big buff Cheeto Puff Canary who is trying to avenge his adopted mother's death at the hands of Darkspawn. And it's a good it's already really insane over there, and I love myself a good dark fantasy game. Otherwise, coming up eventually will be an all disabled table of fantasy flights End of the World, where we are all disabled characters dealing with being kicked out of our settlement in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. So like, yeah, it's wild, it's good. That's gonna be coming out on the Bard Rock podcast channel. So look out for that. And thank you guys again for showing up for our first episode. We're so excited to play for you guys. I'm so excited to introduce more horror and mystery into your lives. All right. We will see you next week at 8 p.m. Eastern, same time, same place. Bye.
Bye.